Although it pains me to do so, because of the respect I have for the legislative branch of government and my decades-long record of cooperating with Congress, under the advice of my attorneys, I will invoke my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution to refrain from answering your questions. Thank you. On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution. On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution. On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
111, but who's counting? That's how many times Dr. Anthony Fauci exercised his Fifth Amendment rights to avoid answering questions about the COVID pandemic. In concluding the hearing, Senator Rand Paul said the committee would reconvene next week, consider whether to hold Fauci in contempt. Senator Paul joins us now. Senator, it's good to see you this morning.
Good morning.
How are the ratings? I guess it's tough to get good ratings when only one. Did anyone besides Fox televised? I watched it. I saw. I think almost all of it, or I at least went back and watched it again. I'm sure that it was widely viewed, but maybe not enough. It was surreal. I wanted to get angry, but by the end of it, I was just more disappointed and sad about what I saw. I think.
You know, I was disappointed as well. I'd hoped he would testify. I hoped there would be some sort of apology or explanation. There's just a big question that still looms out there. Is it a good idea to take an animal virus and mutate it into a human virus? Is it a good idea to take an animal virus and make it more infectious in humans? They have the ability to snip the DNA or the RNA, move it around, genetically manipulate it. They did this in 2010, but steadfastly Anthony Fauci has been for this. This isn't like he made an error in the middle of a pandemic. Since 2010, he's been an open advocate for this genetic manipulation of animal viruses to make them more infectious to humans. I think it's a death wish for the world. I think it's as dangerous as nuclear weapons. And the fact that he will not apologize, will not say, well, maybe I made a mistake, 15 million people died, maybe we shouldn't have been funding this. But we know from his private diaries and from his private comments that he knew early on that the Chinese did gain of function research. He says that's why we think it might have happened in the lab, because we know they do this. If he knew they were doing dangerous research, even though he says he didn't fund it, why did he still give money to a lab in China that was doing dangerous research? He should answer that question.
The most unfortunate thing is that you've got half of the Senate that is agreeing with him that this is just some type of obsession that you have with him, and not even, they've got their fingers in their ears about what you just said. And all the other things that were covered yesterday, you know, I don't know whether closing down was the right thing at the time. Maybe it wasn't. But the one thing I